Here we are.
Yes. Yes.
And Elaine is back. You might remember, my friend, from our little trip to New Orleans.
Oh, yes.
On the balcony with our hats. But we're not in New Orleans. We're not in Indiana. Where are we, Elaine?
We are in
This
a
very
beautiful
picturesque
part of Arizona.
We are in the one and only Scottsdale.
That's right. Wild West.
Yes, so we're really enjoying our trip, a little getaway before Christmas. So last week, as many of you know, Mom turned 90, the Queen. The Queen. And there's not going to be any crownings today. We learned that lesson last time. So, because Elaine is a lady in waiting.
So I hear.
You're still waiting. There won't be any crownings, don't worry, Queen. So anyway, but we had a great celebration, and it really kicked off our December theme of joy. That's our theme for December.
Joy.
So we went from rest in November to joy in December. Because this is a time of joy. A time of rejoicing and celebration. So Mom's birthday was perfect. It was the kickoff of our December joy tapings and of a wonderful month celebrating a big holiday, Christmas coming up, the birth of Jesus. So yes. So here we are. So we're going to continue talking about joy. But we have, it's going to go in a different direction this week because sometimes the holidays don't seem to be joyful for many people. They can be a sad time. They can be a reminder of lost loved ones, the empty seat at the table. And so I think it's only appropriate that we're actually in the desert. Arizona is really the desert. I mean, it's kind of a spa-like desert, but we're in the desert because we all have those desert times, those difficult times that we have to work through.
Very true. It's part of life.
So, so we'd like to share just some ideas and thoughts of how we've gotten through the desert times. And I have, you know those Bibles? It's the Gideons, yes.
And it was in the drawer?
I'm
so glad those are still around.
I know. No, you open the drawer and they're So we're going to do our little Bible bits as part of our Porchcast. We're combining.
Love it.
So anyway, because there's lots of cases and stories in the Bible where people had joy. And one of the things that I wanted to talk about and kind of kick off our conversation is that I think there's a big difference between joy and happiness. And the way that I see it, and even in biblical stories, that joy is something deep. It's really a God thing. It's from the inside out, where happiness many times depends on circumstances.
Yes.
Situations.
Yeah.
And so right now, it's not a happy time for a lot of people because
Very true.
It's a time of loss. So, Elaine, what do you have to say? Or what are your thoughts?
Well,
any situations lately?
Well, I wanted to touch on your topic of that in the Bible there are many stories of how in biblical times that was included, I think, because God wanted us to know that it does happen. It is there. Right. It's not as though God has gone and left us by ourselves, never to return, and that's it. It's just really stories to show us that it won't last forever.
Right.
That it shall pass, and that He's with us through it all.
Right.
And it's needed for our growth. It's needed for our development to take us to the higher calling. And so it's, be prepared and find comfort in knowing that you're not alone.
You're not alone. God is with us. In fact,
and there are even things that we've talked about with getting involved with groups this time of year, because there are other people here on this earth like you and I that at times feel the same way and are there to help others work through what sometimes seems to be very difficult for them.
Right. And we all have different ways of grieving and working through it. But I loved what Elaine just said. We're never alone. And I love how in the Gospel of Matthew, the story starts, the Christmas story. And it says, "Behold, the virgin shall conceive and bear a son, and they shall call him Emmanuel," which means God with us. In verse 123, and that's how it starts. And even at the end of Matthew, with the Great Commission in Matthew 28:20. For I will be with you to the end of the age. Go make disciples, for I will be with you. So it's so hard, since I, to talk about loss, like I said, because everybody grieves in different ways, and I would never, ever, ever want to minimize it.
No.
But I love the reminders that God is with us. God hasn't forgotten about us. We're never alone. And what's brought me comfort through my difficult times is community.
Mm-hmm.
And mostly through my church, oftentimes through family. I know you just got back from an incredible trip with your family. Another reminder of you're never alone. God sends us family and friends and people who are like family to us. And in fact, we have a group of singles this Sunday going caroling at a local retirement home to bring joy. Again, this idea of we're not alone and we're doing something to spread joy.
In a time of need, you have to sow a seed. And that's...
I love that. Say that again right into the camera.
In a time of need, you have to sow a seed. Because the greatest joy can come from giving. And so we'll have such fun together putting on our Santa hats with our candy canes, singing songs that we all loved as kids, and bringing them a slice of joy by having someone there that wants to entertain them and lighten their load for a while too.
You might become a regular.
Oh.
I mean, did you hear that quote? I've never heard that quote. She's pretty good. Queen, you're never going to take the replacement queen. But
I'm still
there's
waiting.
a little tension with the queen.
I'm still
since the crowning, Elaine's crowning. So no, she's a lady in waiting, but she's definitely in training and doing well. This whole idea of bringing joy and my goal when I think of joy, I always think of the Apostle Paul, and I think of Philippians. Because I love the book of Philippians, because the book of Philippians, Paul wrote from jail. And he was spewing with joy, and I loved what he said at the end of, think on these things. He said, whatever things, it's in verse, finally, my brothers, rejoice in the Lord. And then it goes on to say, rejoice. Finally, brothers and sisters, whatever is true, whatever is honorable, whatever is just, whatever is pure, whatever is lovely, whatever is commendable, there is any excellence, if there is anything worthy of praise, think about these things. Because that's the other thing Elaine and I have been talking about is we need to speak affirmations. We need to be positive, even in difficult times, to ruminate. And we've heard lots of sermons lately about this ruminating on negativity or being surrounded by negativity. We need to surround ourselves by positive, uplifting thoughts and people and thinking on those things. And I just love that reminder from Paul. And that whole book of Philippians is just a book of joy. It's what a lot of people call it. Because it was beyond his circumstances. He was in prison. And who knows what prisons were like back then. I'm sure different, even worse than now. But he found joy even in his imprisonment and uncertainty. So that's pretty awesome. And that's a great reminder.
And when you've created habits of thinking negatives or bad thoughts, associating certain seasons with bad ideas, the best way is to replace those thoughts with positives.
Right.
Rather than think, I just got to stop thinking about it. You just replace them, just reiterating over and over again of all of the good things that God loves you. God's always with me.
But it has to be an intentional
You're
effort.
right.
And I know Elaine has shared with me that she has a certain routine. You've got things on your mirrors. Why don't you share a little bit about that? Even your spinning class.
Yeah.
If you're by Elaine and spinning, man, you are going to be pumped up. Not only because you're getting in shape, but she is affirmations.
Positive affirmations during my workouts.
Yeah.
It's, some people talk about when they're running marathons, they get into this mantra, kind of like they get out of their mind or they try to attach to something. I choose to make that affirmations from the Bible.
Okay.
And either sayings, complete sayings, or just positive statements
So if I were on the bike next to you, I'd be getting some good Bible lessons.
Well, I don't say them out loud. Because then they would think I was a freak. And the
'Cause they
music, I'd be
don't
competing with the music. No, it's all internal.
It's an internal conversation.
Yeah.
Okay,
Sorry,
so
Jules.
these speaking affirmations can be internal and spoken out loud. Okay, well that's good clarification. I didn't know because I don't get up at 6 a.m. to go spinning like somebody I know. So, but I love this. You have to be intentional. You have to when those thoughts come, those negative thoughts, that loneliness is that speaking affirmation and maybe doing something different too. Because loneliness is real. For a lot of people this time of year, it's, like I said, a reminder of that empty seat at the table or maybe a life that you once had. So we have to speak affirmations and also remember all the blessings that we have. And this whole idea of remembering, we've been talking about this week. In fact, we were driving back from dinner and it was pretty awesome. On the side of the cliff on the mountain here in Arizona was a big cross. It was just huge. Lit up, you couldn't miss it, and it was just a reminder of God with us, and to have those reminders with us, and we can put them on our phones. I mean, we look at our phone more than anything, right? What is going to help us keep those positive affirmations and those reminders of God in our life through these desert times, through these difficult times?
They will pass. This too shall pass.
This too shall pass. Yes, and this too, a lovely time here in Scottsdale shall pass. Actually, tomorrow.
Yeah.
We've had a great time.
We come back to Indiana and very different climate.
Very different climate. We were at the pool yesterday, so here we are. Well, Lane, thank you again. I have a feeling you might be coming back, but the Queen is coming back next week, and you will not want to miss it because Santa may be showing up on the porch. There might be a dancing Santa on the porch. I'm just planning. Can't guarantee it yet, but
it's like a tease. That's your tease.
I know it's a tease. You've got to tease people. Coming back, you know. So
show
anyway,
business.
So just hang in there and remember that God is with us always through the joyful, happy times, but also through those desert times. And we need each other. We got each other.
That's right.
And I'm so grateful. Okay. Well, Merry Christmas. We're going to just Merry Christmas all season. And we'll see you later.
I did.
Yeah, you did the Queen wave.
Oh, boy.
She will never learn. Okay, we're cutting that out. The Queen did not see the Queen. You're a lady in waiting.
Yeah.
You don't do the wave. I'm a princess.
What am I supposed to do?
I can do the wave. You can just sit here and wait. Okay, we'll see you later.
Bye.
Signing off from Scottsdale. Take care. Bye-bye.